Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Again, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we celebrate Christmas here on our special show with special folks. Buck Gardner, now that you know the story of how he got to call Buck and not Shot. And then Ron Wong, who the guru, I call him, of Mid-South fishing, and I don't know if he likes that or not. Only two-time winner of the St. Jude Bass Classic, and he did it by himself. That's the way Ron can fish good by himself. And then, of course, Mr. Square Bill Crankbait over there. We hadn't even talked about that. Hillbilly, you still with us over at David Beal?
Absolutely. I'm still here, Larry. Ain't going nowhere.
All right. We're going to play another Christmas. I'm not going to play, but Shelby McCall is going to play another song. Then we have another special guest coming in here from with Memphis Roots, and we'll be right back with that person. But, Shelby, give us another solo there. Oh, Tannenbaum. I love that song. Thank you, Shelby. Awesome. Isn't she good over there?
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, you want to go over to the concourse, right? I mean, over to tell them what station you're on.
I work with WYXR, 91.7 FM.
That's right, 91.7 FM. They were just featured here recently.
Yeah, we were featured in the Billboard article
That's
for
right.
our festival that we just had.
So I got a talented show producer here. She is so knowledgeable in outdoors now.
I don't know about that, Larry.
Yes. Hey, we got a good friend of Outdoors of Larry Ray. We go back a long way with this next guy and his years at Strike King and all the things. And we kid about being in the bunker at Strike King on Washington Street out there in Collierville. He's now gone on to be with a lot bigger job security things and going on in South Carolina, and that's our good friend Mark Copley of Rather Outdoors. And I'd rather talk to Mark than just about anybody because I figure Mark Copley has got some Christmas memories for us. Do you, Mark?
Oh, my goodness. You were talking about absolutely my favorite holiday of the year because what it's based off of, the real reason for
the real reason, yes.
But, oh, my gosh, it's my Christmas memories it's always about family. When my parents were still alive, we always gathered every Christmas Eve at their house, and we always opened one present Christmas Eve, kind of wet our whistle.
Really?
And,
okay.
Oh yeah, that was a big tradition for us. And then we would gather, go to church, and then come back. We would come back home, open a gift, have a meal, and then wake up Christmas morning. And when I was itty bitty, which that's a long time ago,
yeah.
I was always the first one downstairs, and it was hard waiting on everybody else to come on downstairs.
And what did you want for Christmas? Did you get fishing lures for Christmas and things like that, or what? Hunting? Were you involved in that, or are you a big wheel man like David Beal's talking about over there? Or what? So I mean,
no, my all-time favorite Christmas gift was, if you remember the old Schwinn Stingray.
Oh yes, yes,
that's right.
I got the white one, which was the cotton picker.
Yes,
that was the name that was on it.
Yeah,
had the gear shifter right there. In the center. It looked like a chopper. Oh, I love that. That was probably one of my favorite gifts, but. You talk about fishing. Larry, my father's the one who introduced me to fishing. We used to go over to Bear Creek. Buck probably knows where Bear Creek is.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows where Bear Creek is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I remember it was over gravel road. Yeah, you did have to take a gravel road.
Yeah.
Took that we used to go over and camp. They had a campground right there by the lake.
Yes. And that.
Oh, my gosh. Those such good memories. And even one of those memories of my father yelling at me, quit kicking the Coke can around the boat because I was going to scare off the fish. But
my dad used to say, don't drag that cane pole across the boat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, we appreciate you, Mark. We're going to let you go. And Merry Christmas to you, buddy, and thank you for joining us on this show. And thank you for your support all these many, many years. I don't know how many fishing lures Strike King gave away at fishing rodeos for a long time. I know we did those things for 62 years, and they were great events back in the day of Henry Reynolds when it was a 3-day event with 15 to 2,000 kids
Yep.
out at Alderman Park. But
Man, you were talking the good times right there.
great time.
Yeah, good
well,
time.
you have a
Merry
great
Christmas.
time. Merry Christmas to you and your family, buddy, and you get back
Same to
over
all
here.
y'all there,
Hope to
and-
see you in 2024. Okay, man.
Merry
You know, I
Christmas,
can't-
Mark.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I can't stay away from Memphis too long.
No. Well, we want you back. Thank you, buddy. All right.
See you at Bear
Thank you,
Creek.
fellas.
Yeah, see you.
I'll
at
see you at Bear Creek, bud.
All right.
Sounds good.
Mark Copley. Thank you, Mark.
Gosh, what memories
Yeah,
there.
I mean, this is what this show is all about,
Yeah.
folks. Just getting around the campfire just about here. And speaking of that, please go to LarryRay.com and see all those wonderful photographs that Frank Barton took of the Arcabutna Lake physically challenged deer hunt here the first 2 weekends in December. And you don't think you don't feel blessed when you see those hunters out there in wheelchairs, paraplegics, whatever it might
Absolutely.
be, shooting. One of them was legally blind and killed a deer. Don't tell me how they did it, but anyway.
Sound.
you
You
know,
know,
and
when
Frank-
you lose one of your senses,
Yes,
your
yeah.
other senses become
Kick in.
very, very, very strong.
And some great photographs by our good friend Frank Barton, and he sent his Christmas wishes to us all. We got some other ones from other people wishing Merry Christmas. And next week's show, folks, we're going to take a little break, but Shelby's going to put together the best of 2023 for Outdoors with Larry Ray. I kind of went back through all the shows we did this year and picked out what I thought were great shows. I know the Kevin Van Dam show is in there. I know the Larry Nixon show was in there, Ron. So we got some. We got some really
good
great
stuff.
shows, and this
Larry,
fits along. I think we need to, Ron. A lot of folks, and Buck's going to take off right after this segment, but a lot of folks, Ron. I know you went to Westwood. You played the sax. Do you know that, David Beal? Ron Wong was there.
Yeah, I played
in
saxophone.
the University of Memphis band.
Then I went to Memphis State.
Yeah, Memphis State.
On a music scholarship.
But a lot of folks doesn't know about the California ties. But Ron, his love of fishing is just beyond anything. When I became outdoor editor for the Commercial Appeal, that's a newspaper in Memphis, in case you forgot. But I in 1988, and was fortunate to do that for 13 years before I retired. Ron was one of the first people that reached out to me, because when you want to know fishing knowledge, he knows more people than anybody. He wears out more tennis shoes, I think, going to events, and he represents Outdoors of Larry Ray wherever he goes.
And it's so much fun. I will tell you.
But talk about that, Ron, from your growing up. We got just a few minutes here,
Well,
and we'll
I was born in Sacramento, California, moved to Memphis, Tennessee in 1960.
Okay.
And, a lot of people say, well, are you going to ever go back? Well, I had some thoughts about going back after whenever.
Yeah, whenever.
And so now it's come to the point to where I have picked up the Southern accent. I talk like a hillbilly.
Nah.
That's right. And this is my home now. And I got to tell you, my cousins, they make fun of me whenever I go out to visit.
They do.
I'm
yeah.
going to talk like I talk right here.
But you came to Westwood High, and
I went to Westwood.
That was you were a minority in that.
I was a minority there. Quick story.
Yeah.
When we moved to Memphis in 1960.
Yeah.
It was in September, and my parents, my mother went down to the school board because that's what you had to do to get registered.
Yeah.
And they looked at her and they looked at the name and all that, and they said, well, we can get you registered, but we're not sure which school you're going to go to. Come back in 3 days.
Yeah.
They didn't know,
what to
Asian.
do with the
what
wong.
is an Asian?
Yeah, what to do with the wong.
And yeah, that's right. They didn't know what to do with the wong. Ended up going to a white school, which was, well, it was different. Because, you talk about a minority, that was it.
It was.
I was the minority.
You was the minority.
My brother and I were the minority. But anyway, growing up, and I got to tell you, finally adjusted to the culture here in the South.
Very well.
And I had an opportunity to go to Memphis State on a music scholarship.
Yes.
And, I had so much fun in music.
Yeah, you did.
At Memphis State.
Yeah.
That my grades went down.
Yeah.
And so they changed my draft status to you're going to be drafted.
Yeah.
So I joined the Navy.
Yes, you did.
And, I finished most of my college there in the Navy through courses that you could take. But I was able to play in bands over in the Philippines. So I had a lot of fun. Got out of it.
Yeah.
And came back to Memphis here.
Went to work for a small little company.
And I worked for this company called Surplus City.
Yes, Surplus City.
That's really where I started getting connected
that's
in
where
the
I met
fishing
Ron.
world.
That's
Yeah,
where I
that's
met
right.
him for the first
That's
time.
1973.
Yeah, that's where
1972. We sold more Lew's rods in one season than anything
City.
else. They took me down to their factory and took me fishing and all that. I met a lot of people there. And, that's where I became friends with Bill Dance, Charles Spence, Tommy Cleaves, and I can go on and on and on.
And then, but you moved on. How long did you work for FedEx?
Worked for FedEx for 34 years.
Yes.
And I worked in their corporate communications department for the last 15 years. And that's where I had an opportunity to do a lot of traveling. And also, I started doing a lot of traveling in the fishing industry after I kind of retired from the tournament scene. I mean, that was 25, 30 years ago. I mean, and so now, my objective now is to help grow the fishing industry in any way that I can, and it's been a blessing.
I think that will lead up to the next two guests that we have lined up, that Ron lined up for us, and we're going to let Buck slip out right now. Buck Gardner.
Yes, sir.
We love you, buddy.
I love being here
Buck,
with you.
You're the best.
One more time.
One more time. What, Buck?
I said just one more time, get them to come back.
Well, we'll come back as long as the Lord lets us come back.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's good to meet you too, Buck.
Hey, David.
Nothing.
God bless you for what you do.
Nothing for the best for you, Buck, for 2024, and keep on plugging along. Have a great trip to Idaho, and you can speak good out there, Buck. Okay.
Hey, I'm just gonna tell them what I think. Whoever out there.
It's different in Idaho, Buck. Just be careful, okay? Make sure you come back. All right, we're going to come back on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and it flies by. We've already been through an hour. This is not the fastest it is. All right, let's take a break. Shelby, lead us on out of here, then we'll be back right after this break.